Welcome back to Tattooing Out Loud. Those of you listening, that was actually a clip highlighting today's guest who catches a football during a game one-handed and secures the first down. Whether you're a sports fan or not, there's something in this story for everyone to admire and be inspired by. After we recorded this episode, you also get to see different angles of the tattoo. So I do suggest you guys to follow us to the YouTube channel, which you guys can see the video version of this podcast. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting the podcast. It's been a fun project. We have several episodes lined up. So if you're tuning in on your favorite platform, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a rating just to help the channel grow. Let's go ahead and dive into a story that goes beyond the field. I present to you guys Josiah Freeman.
Good right here.
So yeah, tell me about the, you guys are off season now, right?
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you do.
My name's Josiah Freeman. I'm a junior here at Fresno State. I play football for the team. I did 2 years at junior college down in Monterey at Harnell Community College.
And I just didn't want this to be like a sport podcast.
No, yeah.
But I just figured since you walked in, a biggest highlight and the biggest, I guess the biggest key points that we would talk about is just that, like your build up into the sport, into your like the beginning from Soledad.
Yeah, Soledad.
So yeah, I tattooed in Hollister. I don't remember if I mentioned it to you, but I tattooed in Hollister for a while at Only the Honorable. Shout out Matt Gomez. He gave me a shout out there, and that shop that shop's really cool. It's imagine like this size but double the width. There's like 12 stations, and it's a big old warehouse looking at the shop. But so it's not too far from Hollister. Tell me about the high school time. How was it?
High school, it was good. You know, growing up in Soledad, it's a really small town. You know, we got one high school, one middle school, so everyone was really close in high school. Like my friends in high school, I still talk to them to this day. I've known them since I was a kid, and you know, my high school experience, it was pretty good. You know, freshman, sophomore year, playing football. You know, I was still growing into my body. I wasn't always as big as I am now. Junior year, I actually had to sit out, unfortunately, due to like bad grades and stuff like that. I was just being
in high school, I remember if any friends I had for the like during football, I know they would say that the coaches were really on them with their grades, right?
Yeah, coaches are real strict about it.
So what was your weakest subject that kind of held you back a little bit from playing?
It was just I didn't really give effort into any of my classes.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was pretty good at any topic, any subject.
Is it like a GPA, like an overall thing that was? Because they tell you have to be above this GPA to play?
Yeah. So going into my junior year, they were looking at my sophomore year grades, and they're basically saying I wasn't eligible to play because you know, that around that time I was just slacking. I was just being a little kid. Really.
How'd you end up in Fresno instead of doing like a Bay Area college or whatever? Yeah. How did you shoot out this way to begin with?
My senior year, I wasn't as skilled as I would say as I am right now. Like I really put in a lot of work after my senior year because that's when COVID started.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'm okay. I'm gonna go to junior college, Hartnell, down the road, 30 minutes away from home.
Oh yep.
But for my first year, we didn't have no season or anything. So I was just putting in work by myself at the park every day, every day, like.
No coach, no trainer.
No coach, no trainers.
'Cause I know some athletes during school, or the parents or a lot of families will find a trainer, right? Like a personal trainer, and they'll just meet up at like a park, and they'll do just personal drills and things like that. So you just did it on your own. You're just like grinding.
I had a lot of my brother. He'll come. I worked out in a gym with him a lot recently, but yeah, during that time I was just out there at the park grinding by myself. I watch videos online of these other trainers, seeing what they're doing. And I was like, I'm gonna go do that tomorrow.
Studying, right? I'm gonna go the way that. You guys study tape. That's like your own.
Yeah, that's basically what it's like. I'm gonna go do that tomorrow.
Like no days off.
This and that. Then
I mean, that's that mindset. I think that's that mentality. How does that work? How do you get plugged into going to say like, hey, well, there's these options, there's these colleges, Fresno State's looking for or players? Because how does that work with the recruiting? I'm assuming you have to go like a tryout.
Yeah.
Right. And
2020 is COVID. I'm working out every day doing this and that. Then 2021 comes up. We finally get to play my first season at a junior college. Oh yeah. You know, I do pretty good throughout the season, and during the season we have film. So you upload your film to Twitter, you tag coaches. Okay. Because that's where all the coaches are looking for athletes on Twitter. You do your edit. They watch their film. Yeah. You make my edits, and then my video just kept gaining more traction from coaches. You know, then Fresno State finally reached out. I remember the day. It was after practice. I grabbed my phone, and it was a recruiter at Fresno State. He was just like, he got my number from my coach, and he basically tapped into me. He was like, you know,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So it was like more of a personal reach out. Yeah. Then he was like, hey, like I want you. So what was the message? Did he say?
I'd have like Just for recruiting, like they go out and find kids, and then my receiver coach, he eventually then reached out to me like, hey, I'm gonna come down there to your school, and I want to just come see you practice. I want to come talk to you, just get to know you a little better.
Yeah. And let's say there's another opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, some people during the draft, they say, man, Carolina, I go to Kansas City, I can go here, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you just pull the trigger, like no hesitation? Did you already have your eyes on Fresno State, like as a football team, like that's what you wanted to be a part of?
I hadn't like known about them. I've been following the program, but they were like the first big school to really reach out to me. But now my recruiting process, even at JUCO, was like it was pretty stressful because I actually had a lot of schools reach out to me and offer me to come play for them. So if you can ask anyone, that's like a real stressful process because you want to make sure you make the right decision because that's basically the next 3-4 years of your life. But I feel like I had made the right decision.
That's that contract, though. You get locked in.
Yeah.
When did you get your first tattoo? Did you get it after high school? Because I remember you showed me your first tattoo.
Yeah, it's the little.
It was the one we redid, right?
Yeah, the first one we did. I actually got it my senior year of high school. I think I was still.
Did you go to the shop?
I went to a shop. I was young. I just wanted something.
And that was, what was the inspiration behind that?
My oldest sister, her baby was born. We shared the same birthday, November 22nd. Okay. November 25th, she actually passed away.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
Your whole right arm is all family.
Yeah.
And that was interesting to me because recently I had a bunch of brothers that came in. They've gotten a tattoo for like their sister's baby or whatever. And I thought that was cool because there's just like, you really see how tight a family is. Yeah. And they especially amongst brothers. I don't have any siblings, so I get to see that vicariously through my own kid and other clients that come in, and they tell me their stories within like their families and their brothers and how close they are, or if there was once like the funk, the rivalry, they squash the beef because there's nothing like, it's hard because I know conflict arises or challenges that they don't agree with a sibling's mindset. Or let's say if you were raised like myself, raised in a traditional like Mexican home, and if I had a brother that wants to stick it to the plan, and I'd never stuck it to the plan, like they say the black sheep, and then I go into this whole like tattoo thing, right? The tattoo life and the direction of tattooing, my family would they're not used to that, So and I'm sure you could relate in times that you and I've spoken and your mom's like, because your mom has tattoos, right?
Yeah, she had a couple.
But she's probably like, oh, my baby's getting tattooed. You know what I mean? And she's probably like, so now it's maybe not as expected. But in my own family, it was like I was the first to have a tattoo within the family. Yeah. So I was kind of like trying to kill the stereotype and the stigma. It had a bad image at one point. That was a game for like, prison, right? Yeah. If you had some, but so like a lot of my cousins are like, yeah, you introduced tattoos to the family. And then so therefore imagine if I had a sibling that didn't agree with that and then we just, all right, you go your way, I go mine. And that sucks, dude. That's pretty heavy. To commemorate an arm, to family, to like the story and to have it like this is for, my niece, this is for my, my last name, my grandpa, whatever, and go from there. And because that was the other name.
Yeah,
you did,
my
right?
grandpa's
last name.
Yeah.
Do you get questions about that? Because you show up to the field. Because I remember when we did this, and then everybody's just like, hey, Josiah, you just got tatted, didn't you? What did they say?
They'd be like, you just get that? I'm like, I had it for like almost 2 weeks.
Did anybody say, hey, you're getting carried away with the tattoos? Or like, or you got the bug, or you got addicted?
They already know how it is because, I got a lot of teammates that got tattoos as well. So they know, like, once you keep getting them,
that's the start, man.
For even more.
Yeah, that's the start. Your mom, because they're all in Soledad, right?
Yeah.
So
my family.
you just send them. Yeah. You send them pictures and like until you've seen them, right, over the holidays.
Because after we did this one, I was going home that weekend, so I went. So I had only showed my mom. Yeah. And I'm like showed my grandma, my grandpa. And they're like, "Oh, you got another tattoo?" Like I'm like, "Yeah."
I mean that's cool. At least they're accepting and they.
Because a lot of my cousins, my age too, they started getting tattoos at a young age too. Like one of my cousins, he had got this whole half sleeve when he was like 16 as well. Like So a lot of my cousins started getting tattoos at a young age.
And so, I mean, you're showing up with art, and they're probably all. I mean, it's got to be like an attention getter, right? They probably break their necks and see like, because we don't have much left. Once we're done, I'm gonna show off. Like, I'll put a picture up of the end result, but we're gonna work on the inside of the arm, which we have a big open area for. Yeah. And start tying things in there. Mm-hmm. You sent me the idea. I saw that, and I was like, that's cool. It's an animalistic kind of thing. Yeah. Do you ever tap into that? I've been watching a lot of different things like with coaches and stuff and like NFL teams, and they were talking about
before they step on the field.
Yeah.
Tap into that. Either that animal, tap into that game, that mindset, that game time, the A game, all that. This isn't Friday Night Lights like high school games anymore. This stage is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So does that,
like
once
40,000 people.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's why I was like, man, and what do you do? What's your, because you were on the field. They put you on. They're like, show us what you're about.
Yeah.
So what do you go through? What's that?
Morning of games, I usually get texts from my family, like my mom, my grandma, like, they're going to be watching, like they're praying for me out there. Then they know everything, like they know I'm going to be good out there. Yeah. And then like 10 minutes before we go out there, we all, our position group, we sit in one section of the locker room, and everyone just sits there and just locks in and focus in. Like some people might need music, some people might not music. Yeah. Personally, me, I just like to listen to music, like close my eyes and like just take deep breaths and just think about like me in good scenarios on the field, like making big plays and just calming myself down. Just basically manifesting, just calm myself down.
That's tight.
Take deep breaths and go out there and play.
And each time, I mean, you're rolling out there, man, and you're side by side with the team. Yeah, it's got to feel good, right? You're just rolling out like
Every time you.
What was your first game?
I played Purdue over there, a Big Ten school, like a super big school over there. That was my first game back in like a year. So I'm walking out the tunnel, and I'm walking and seeing like 50,000 people.
It just hits you, huh?
Yeah, it's like I didn't even feel nervous. I just felt more excited to finally be back on the field. Yeah. So it was like, and that was when I got my first catch that game. I just felt like it just felt routine. Like I just felt good after that.
Yeah, because it's got to be smooth. It's got to be so like well, training and competing in martial arts and stuff like that too. I know like it's different when you're at the mats and training with all the guys that you know. Yeah. And then the day of the fight, that's what I was curious because that's what I did, man. I was trying to but you don't want to get too amped, right? Yeah. Because then you'll get too amped behind the scenes and you're just like, oh, man, I felt like I got a little too hyped. And then your adrenaline gets the best of you. Yeah. Because you got to, obviously, like you said, you got to perform. You got to be focused. You got to be on point, hyper-focused on what you're doing. Everything that you were training for leads up to this. But it's not just one game. I mean, you have a whole season, right? So you have to keep that and then push it to the next game, to the next meet. After every game, did you ever like just play everything back and just be like, I should have done this, I could have done that?
Most definitely.
Yeah. We're our own worst critics. So do you feel like you're being hard on yourself, the outcome makes you just kind of want to push harder? And
I'm definitely hard on myself for sure. It's like I feel like there's always something I could have done better. Even if my coach maybe said I had a good game or I did this, I feel like there's always something I could have done better. And like my coach, he's gonna coach you, but he wants the best for you. So he's gonna pick out the little things, but all he wants.
How many coaches are there?
There's a coach for every position on the team. So we got a lot of coaches. I can't think off the top of my head.
No, that's why I guess coaches. There's multiple coaches. So do you have like during practice, everybody is split up into groups? Or
so we go through like individuals, and then we'll come together as like a offense, go over plays. So practice is like, it's crazy because our coach says for the amount of times that we go through practice, we only have 12 games in the season. Like for the amount of hours that we put in, like working out, watching film, practicing.
You're busy, dude. How do you manage that? Because now you're actively attending Fresno State as a student, and I remember you would say like, even if we try to book an appointment, we're like, I'm free by this time, whatever. Managing that, I mean, you still have homework, you still have overnight. I was like, dude, you're young, and I'm over here on this side of the spectrum, and I'm over here like, dude, I don't know how. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. How do you manage it?
They do a pretty good job of like getting our classes set for us. At my old school, junior college, we would have to set up our classes. Like I have to go into pick out my classes, but now it's like, we have our academic advisors, so they look over all of our stuff. They set up our classes so everything works out. Like we got practice, and then we come here, and then we got to come study hall, and then later we got to do film. So they plan all that out way in advance. So you just got to follow it now. So, I mean, I felt like I adjusted to it pretty good. Yeah. But it does get pretty tiring sometimes.
Pretty hectic, man. Especially because you're like
practice, and then you got to go sit in class, and then come to study hall, but you just got to fight through it.
You guys have the camp portion of it, because you guys are obviously a team, and it sucks because you guys are all fighting together kind of thing, but you can't at the same time you're all going for a spot, right? You all want to be, you want play time, you want field time, but you also have to earn it. You have to show out, show up. Like, I don't want to say who's your competition, but how is it that you try to just kind of really be not better than the next guy, but obviously keep all eyes on you in a sense.
Our coach does a good job of making sure like he lets us know like there's competition in our room. Like nobody has a set job. Anyone can be replaced basically. So we have we're all super close, but we know we're all fighting for a spot at the end of the day. Like our practice is super competitive, one-on-one periods that like we got to go against the defense every day. Just doing a little extra stuff like catching extra balls after practice. Just doing the extra little stuff is what's really gonna make you surpass players that you're ahead of, basically.
Right. What's your position? You're doing
wide receiver.
Wide receiver. How many other wide receivers are there?
I think we got 13 or 14 wide receivers.
13 or 14.
14,
that's crazy.
Really, and around 6 maybe play a game.
Out of 6. Okay, so then there's 12 games. And only 6 have played.
There's usually like 3-4 starters, but only around 6 receivers will play in the game.
I got you. Okay, that's crazy.
We're like subbing out.
It's very narrow.
Getting people water break and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Is there a Fresno State rivalry right now with who would you say out there? Because I know everybody has their own opinions as far as this matchup against Fresno State is like the hardest or whatever. Who, like what you see on the field or what you hear in the locker rooms or the coaches. Before you go out there, I'm sure the coaches have to tell you this is our these are our matchup. This is our dude. We got to take these guys out. Whatever. Who's the rivalry?
I say Boise State and San Jose State.
Okay.
Boise State. I know Boise State.
And San Jose is not too far from where you are. That's what I'm saying. You could have gone to San Jose.
Yeah. When we played San Jose, I had a lot of family there.
That's crazy. Everybody showed up. That's awesome.
But yeah, I know Boise State has always been a big rivalry throughout for years before me. It's always been a pretty big rivalry game. I know last year we played them here in Fresno. The game was like completely sold out, like 40,000 people there. It was crazy.
That's crazy, dude. That would be the example of the whole rivalry team, huh?
Yeah.
You're playing ball and you have to have that bigger mindset and not be so trapped in. But do you ever think NFL? What would be you're gonna shoot for that?
Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for.
Okay, that's what I was hoping you did, because I'm like, dude, don't be doing all this if you don't have that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I talk to different athletes in different sports, and I like to hear them say like, I'm gonna shoot for the big leagues, and it's like that's what I hope youngsters are going for too. Like people that are trying to get into this. Do you now have a trainer off season, or what do you do now off season? Do you have like somebody that's able to help you because now the technology with training is insane. They can make you faster. I mean, obviously you're not gonna be some running back with a parachute attached to your back trying to run it, but there's ways to make somebody athletically push that performance. What do you do right now off season?
We have workouts going on, so we're doing that. We do a lot of speed training right now, but like off the field away, I like to try to get more catches in and just work on my feet as best I can. Work on receiver drills basically. But when we're away from Fresno and I go back home, I found a trainer out there I got in contact with, so we'll probably meet up a couple times when I'm not here in Fresno, just to keep my footwork right and keep everything smooth. But I know this summer I plan to go out to hopefully stay in LA with another one of the receivers on the team. With the trainer out there, he has a couple trainers out there just for like strength, speed, and just stuff like that. Because I've been really trying to take my game to the next level. So I'm trying to give it like the best of the best out there.
This trainer that you're talking about right now, where is he? He's from. What is his background like, or what?
From Salinas. I don't know too much about his background, but I found him on Instagram. Working around Salinas with a lot of other kids, and my coach always says, you don't want to just work with anyone. So I really took my time to look at what he's teaching and stuff like that. So I feel confident in going to train with him when I go back home.
That's cool, man. What this last game you guys played was San Diego, right?
New Mexico State in a bowl game. December 16th. I was.
How was that? How was the last few games? Because I remember when we did our last session, you were saying we're about to go play San Diego. That was the time frame, right? When we went to go play San Diego, or
this one?
Yeah. Was that?
No, this was the one where we were gonna leave to our bowl game.
To the bowl game.
Yeah, because the bowl game we fly out like a week ahead of time because we do a lot of activities throughout the week.
Yeah.
Just leading up to the game on Saturday, so we flew out on Tuesday. Practice there Wednesday, do a bunch of activities and stuff play Family Feud against the other team and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
So it's just a build up to
team build up and stuff.
To the game on Saturday.
That's good. So this last game, how did that go?
I scored my first touchdown that game.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
dude.
so
that's
cool.
Tell me about the play. What was it? What was the yardage? Where were you guys at?
I think it was a 26-yard touchdown.
And he wants to throw it again. Pumps, going toward the end zone, and Freeman again. What a catch. Did he stay in bounds? He did. Josiah Freeman, 2 great plays in succession, and the first touchdown of the day belongs to the Bulldogs. 2 great plays.
26-yard touchdown. And it was crazy because the day before our games, we usually walk the field to like our coaches let us know where the clocks are, so we just get a feel of everything. And I told my friend, I was like, I'm gonna score right here, right in this exact spot. I pointed, and the next day it happened. But I didn't. When the play started, I really didn't even think the quarterback was going to throw it to me, just based off how the defender was playing. Yeah. So I'm coming out my break, and I look up, and I see the ball in the air. I'm like, oh, he threw it.
It's on.
So I just jumped up, caught it, dragged my feet. I turned around, looked at the ref. He put up touchdown, and I feel like I just blacked out right there. I was just so hyped. Like, it was just crazy because I knew my family was watching, like, back home. And my dad had flew out just for that game, too. That's tight, because he lives in Texarkana. So I was like, I got to score my first touchdown in front of my dad, too. And I know my family's back home watching, going crazy. That's
wild. So then, because you said you got all the new recent shots of that, too. Who was highlighting that game? Was there there's an ESPN that goes out there, didn't they? So who was it, ESPN just in general? Or
ESPN. And then, because it was on ESPN, and then, like, the photographers out there, there's a lot of different photographers out there, like photographers for New Mexico, for us. Nice. Just a bunch of, like, not random, but, like, people
like personalized things.
That getting, that working with the New Mexico Bowl game crazy, for taking pictures and stuff like that.
What was what's it like in halftime? Do you guys ever get together and your coach just kind of, so I think of halftime the way the bell rings and you're in your corner, your cornermen are like, hey, block that jab, or so what are they doing? That's what it's like, right?
Yeah, depending on how
you guys are in the locker room.
Yeah, depending on how the game's going, because there's definitely been games where, like, the first half, we're not doing so well, but we come in the second half, we take a deep breath, focus, realize what we got to do, what we got to change, and the second half we go out there and we do it and we execute and we get the job done after that. Because I know at UNLV, we played that game. The first half, we weren't doing too well the first half, but our coach came in halftime. He's like, we're okay. Like, we got to do, change it. We went out third, fourth quarter. That's what we did, and we came out with the win.
That's tight. You got any injuries this season? Like, did you get any?
Luckily, no
that's
injuries
good,
from the season.
Because I can imagine they're coming after you.
I've definitely felt a couple hits that I've taken in the game.
Yeah, like, does it ever get real when they, like, hit you down and they just keep you, like, they give you, like, one of those, like, little silent jabs or something?
Oh,
like
it definitely gets like that.
And you're just like, it's like, this guy did it on purpose or something?
Yeah. Teams are definitely, like...
Yeah, it'd be like that.
They try to get in your head for sure. But our coach always... He always preaches, like, they never catch the first person. So say if someone were to push you, and then you push him back, the ref's not going to see him push. They're going to catch me.
Yeah. So we try to. So I'm sure there's like, hey, be careful.
We try to stay calm.
Keep it. Don't let it, like, really show up or whatever. You had this last game. It ends. Do you guys all regroup as a team, like a meeting after the season's over, and just be like, hey, when does it start again? Is it after summer
or like our season,
the camp and all that? Yeah.
So basically, we had our last game December 16th. So we came back here to Fresno. Basically, you could leave to go back home because we're on Christmas break for school and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
But they'll let us know when our report day back is. So our report day back was like January 17th, I think. Okay. So I was back home for a little bit, but I got back up here in Fresno like on the 8th or something.
Okay.
I came back kind of early.
Do you have I wouldn't say guaranteed spot, but because you already signed up to say you're going to play for them for the 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
So then as soon as it starts, they got to – it's not like you have to retry out or okay. That's good. Yeah. I was going to say that would suck. Dude. You already, like, you did so much work and then they're like, you have to reprove yourself or something. Yeah. So your tattoo ideas, we're pretty much wrapping up this arm. Yeah. What's after this arm? What's next?
I was just thinking that too. I don't know if I want to – I'm thinking maybe start here for the next – arm sleeve. Yeah. Or maybe I was also thinking maybe like something on my chest.
Like
maybe
chest work.
Because
the way it ends up here is it's perfect for like a tank top.
Yeah.
But I think you can definitely go into like the chest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I'll probably take some time to try and figure it out.
Yeah. That was my thing. When I started getting tattooed, people were saying, a lot of people would mention that it looks like you're getting tattooed like really fast.
Yeah.
Like I got a sleeve like you, man. I got a full, like 2 half sleeves in it within the year kind of thing. The chest piece, my back already done.
Oh, yeah.
And I was only like 21. Oh, man. I was young, dude.
Yeah.
So how old are you? You're
21.
21. Yeah. So at your age, dude, I had my 2 half sleeves and I had my back, chest done.
Oh, man.
All like chest plated out, right? I told people it's not the addictive thing. I think it's more so that I had the idea and I want to roll with it and I want to go with it.
Yeah.
And then sparked the interest the more I did it into the more of like, I guess some friends I was around, they're like, you should try to do this. Because I was surrounded by a lot of people that were tattooing.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I guess, kind of the influence, but I could have just as well picked it up and just put it right back down. No, I picked it up and I fell in love with it, right?
Yeah.
So like when at one point you decided you wanted to be this athlete and you were going to push it and pursue it, but your eye is still on the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like obviously this isn't it for you. You're already like, you mentioned it, you got to manifest it. Yeah. You're speaking it out there into existence. So at one point I picked up the tattoo machine and I was like, okay, I'm going to start this. I didn't wake up. I gave myself that motive and the option not to put it down.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, like you're saying, hey, off season, I'm still grinding, I'm still going, and that's what it takes. So I believe people need to have an eye on you, especially once the term is over with state and it comes. When does someone decide who's the oldest right now as far as like, because they're all in their last years to play with state, right? That would be how many? Do you know like a group of?
I don't know the number of seniors we have right now, but I know last year. So my position group, we had 2 seniors. They just finished up their last year.
And did they get who got drafted recently?
So they haven't with the draft hasn't happened yet, but I know they're training for right now they're out training for, you know, to run the 40 to bench press and do all that, because we'll hold a pro day for them back here in Fresno where all the NFL scouts will come watch them work out and run routes and do this and that, whatever the position is. So that's what they're back home training for right now. Yeah. To, you know, see if they get a chance to get picked up by a team.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Before you came in, I guess that's when a few people got picked up by state. Yeah. Right. And they were like, who were the most recent? Was it?
We had our quarterback Jake Hayners last year.
He went to
he's with the New Orleans Saints now.
He's with the Saints.
One of our receivers, Jalen Cropper. He's from here, Fresno Saint.
Sanger, right?
I believe so.
Who do you go with?
He's with the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, he's
with the Cowboys. Another receiver, Nico. He's with the Chiefs. One of our running backs. He's also with the Saints from last year. I'm watching now. I'm trying to learn everything.
You got some good game. You know what I mean? So you were at that point just because you were on the team, but you weren't.
Yeah, 2022.
Fielding yet, right?
No, I had just got here in August. Yeah. Damn, dude. They got me here super late. They're like, if you come now, we would want you here now. I'm like, I'll come now. Then. So it was like last minute. I packed up my stuff and I moved here.
Dang, that's crazy. And it's not that far, but it is a big. It's a big thing, man.
It's a big difference because I got a big family. Like all I've known my whole life was my family. Like a super small town, but I got a big family. Like my grandma stayed down the street, my sister stayed down the road, my cousins stay right here. So like in a matter of a week, I had to pack my stuff and I had moved her.
That must be good though. It's like one of those things that it's a good sign. And you see Fresno players are going into the NFL. But I think definitely they got to keep an eye out for you, man. You got a lot of your stats are up. You know, you've got the execution, your performance. It's all there. You're really showing up. And since you stepped in, it's one of those things that we get into these kind of conversations, and that's why I decided I was like, hey, you know, I gotta just chop it up with them because we have these talks. You got the eye on the prize, and now we're doing the eye of the tiger. So it's like one of those things that, you know, it's keep that animalistic mindset and, you know, something cool to tap up on. But we'll definitely put up the picture when we're done with this.
For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you allowing me to talk a little bit about it and get a little bit of spin off. But I'll put on the description your IG and stuff. That way you can see it, and we'll put up some pictures and shots of like the full arm wrap around. But let's get to it. Wrap up this arm sleeve. Yes, sir. So appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you having me do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, catch you guys on the next one for this. Definitely is a cool example of the different kinds of walks of life that come to the shop, man. It's and these conversations, I don't want them to get lost because we talk about some things that sometimes an athlete out there that has that goal or youngster, they might need to hear this, you know, that it's definitely that's the motive for sure. But with that said, guys, excuse us, we got an arm to work on. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.